Yep, it's me again. They hate me, that's why they give a fuck about me at the same time. As always, JD Miles. The MGTOWs they love to hate, even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, love to hate MGTOW at the same time, which is why they keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. For tonight's topic of discussion, they blame the Manosphere for every goddamn thing happening. Yes, I'm feeling like I should play the opposition of this moment because these are the same old talking heads. The same old talking heads. They see something on the news. Oh, now all of us they see something on the news and now they want to blame the Manosphere for the shit as if the Manosphere had any responsibility for that shit. And keep this in mind as well. These are the same anti-manosphere haters that do nothing but just preach, 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 preach. They never was about action to begin with. This is why they so helplessly dependent on other people to try to stop the manosphere. And what's even more an embarrassment than that, they've been doing this shit since 2018, 6 years later. 6 years later. And they still boo-hoo, whining and crying about the same damn thing. Oh, we need to get rid of the manosphere. Well, y'all had 6 years to do so. Why haven't you accomplished? This is why you're depending on other content creators on YouTube as well as the government to take action. And yeah, I know I'm about to piss someone off with this video. I don't give a shit. Then again, they don't even watch my content, so I doubt they're gonna give a fuck at all. Oh, the Manosphere is all about fascism. Oh, the Manosphere are nothing more than fascists. You ask them what their solution. Oh, they need to be brought. They need to be. These Manosphere. The Manosphere needs to be sent to re-educational camps. Okay, Kim. Okay, Kim Jong Un. So your solution to stopping the Manosphere, which of course you claim to be fascist, is to be communistic. But there's a problem. The people don't like neither fascism nor communism. And this is what it all boils down to. They called the Manosphere fascist, and their solution to stopping the Manosphere is to be a bunch of communists trying to tell people what they should say, what they should not say, what they should and should not do, and all this other retarded fuck shit. Nobody's trying to listen to that shit. This is the reason why. When I go on their lives, I go on their podcasts, their numbers are their numbers are completely low. I shit you not. They could barely get people to listen to what they got to say. Then you hear all this stuff that's happening on the news. These are the same retarded fucks that want to sit there and say, "Oh, the Manosphere is responsible for this shit." Oh, really now? You're going to blame the Manosphere for something that they had no involvement in? All because you can't stand the Manosphere? You can't stand the Manosphere? You want the Manosphere to go? So you're going to come up with all this fucking propaganda and narratives just to push your point across? But again, they wonder why nobody's listening to their retarded fuck asses. I wouldn't listen to them. In fact, I don't. What's more, they still trying to push a dead argument that was destroyed last year. Oh, these Manispherians are pro-conservative. These Manispherians are pro-Trump. Even though even though for the past several months, from 2023 going on to 2024 this year, you had conservatives coming out of the woodwork, airing out, airing out their disgust with the Manosphere. You had conservatives coming out, telling the people their disagreements with the Manosphere, but somehow everyone should still be convinced that the Manosphere is pro-conservative, pro-Trump, pro all that other retarded fuck shit. But what did Uncle JD said? These anti-Manosphere haters don't pay attention to what the fuck is going on, to the point to where they saying everything they can, but yet nobody's listening. I mean, what can I say on this fucking matter? Every Everything that happens in the news, what goes on in the world, oh, the Manosphere is solely responsible. I swear to God, these anti-Manosphere haters reminds me of Sheila Boslowski off of South Park. And not only the episode, I mean the movie. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. In that whole entire movie, Sheila Boslowski, Cal's mom, was pushing for everybody to go to war with Canada. And what was her slogan? Blame Canada. Basically, she wanted everybody to go to war with Canada, all because she had an agenda. She had a narrative. In the end, it all fell flat on his back. And I don't see nothing different with this. You got all these retarded fucks screaming, blame the Manosphere, blame the Manosphere for all the fucking problems going on. But here's the counter argument. How do they know for a fact that this everything that's going on in the news, in the world, what may have you, is a direct product of the Manosphere, or is that what these retarded fuck ass Manosphere haters want everybody to believe? Is it really the Manosphere's fault? Or is this the anti-Manosphere haters pushing their propaganda, pushing their narratives, hoping that everybody will get on board to stop the Manosphere? But in case they haven't been paying no fucking attention at all, at first they was going to go after the Manosphere. But notice that they ended up having to switch up their game. Oh, that's the part the anti-Manosphere haters don't talk about. How did they switch up the game? Well, it's simple. Instead of going at the Manosphere as a whole, what was the next thing they tried to do? They now trying to go at individuals in the Manosphere. They're going at the key players here. Now why did they do that? Because certain groups of the Manosphere ain't showing signs of any terroristic activity. There's no records of any type of situation that happened as being terroristic, though this is what everybody claims the Manosphere is, even though not just myself, but you have others challenging their decisions of claiming that the Manosphere is a terrorist organization along with Al Qaeda. Ain't it funny? They scared to accept the challenge. Why? Because they know their claims are full of shit. And they wonder why the Manosphere is actually growing despite what these retarded fucks have to say. Especially when these were the same ones that constantly talk about, the Manosphere is done, the Manosphere is finished, the Manosphere is over with, only to sound like a dumbass broken record. For 6 straight years, from 2018 all the way up to here and now in the 2024. Every year, they constantly claim that, the Manosphere is done, the Manosphere is finished. But every time the year went by, the Manosphere still goes strong. And now they looking like a bunch of retards, constantly repeating themselves over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, about the same old shit that's not happening. But as everybody is also seeing, that most of the things that the Manosphere is talking about has now come to pass. Look at paternity fraud and mandatory DNA testing. That's one of the many arguments the Manosphere have in which progress is being made. And even more progress is being made out in Florida. More progress is being made out in Michigan. And it's these small victories. These small victories is the reason why stopping the Manosphere is so complex. Not to mention that everybody is now starting to wake up from this sick and twisted dream. Everybody is now starting to see that most of the things that the Manosphere talked about is actually true. And there's so much to go into complete detail. Y'all see most of my videos, so y'all understand exactly what I'm saying. But back to these armchair anti, or shall I say computer chair anti-MGTOW preachers. Because that's all they do. They preach about this fucking problem, and they still complaining about the fucking problems, but have little to zero actions behind them. That and the fact that they depend on others to stop the Manosphere, and the shit's also failing. And how many times has Uncle JD predicted this shit? So many times I can't even count. I predicted each and every time that all their attempts would fail. And guess what happened? They all failed. And I ain't no fucking psychic. I'm just seeing the total outcome of each and every situation. They too busy looking at their own advantages, or their so-called advantages, that they're not paying no attention at all to the drawbacks. And as my college instructor told us, be wary for you may have a good plan, but how do you know for a fact that your plan don't have a downside? You don't. Only when you try to put your plan in motion will you see that there might be a drawback, there might be a setback, a hiccup, or a snag. And if it does happen, what are you going to do afterwards? Of course, we all know the answer to that question. Some of them refuse to even go back and rethink their goddamn strategy. They think they by still using the same failed attempts that will give them a different result, but then they wonder why they keep giving the same results instead of the results they're looking for. And some of which don't even make no goddamn sense whatsoever. I'm just sitting back here for watching everything from my lookout. I'm watching all the shit unfold. And you mean to tell me, despite how smart these anti-manosphere haters are, they cannot they cannot grasp the they cannot grasp the concept that their plans are failing right in front of their faces and they are completely clueless? Wow, just wow. You see, by the end of the day, despite all their claims, despite all their attempts, despite each and every move they make, there's a reason why they're not getting the results they want. And I could go on and on about this. But they're the ones still boo-hoo, whining, crying, bitching, and complaining about the same manosphere that they've been trying to get rid of for years, and it still ain't working. It's time to rethink their strategy. It's time to change up their formula because their last one not working. Despite despite them constantly telling themselves that, oh, it will work, it will work, only to always end in failure. Then these be the same ones wondering why is it 2024 and we still complaining about the manosphere, even though the manosphere was supposed to be gone years ago? I mean, the shit is a goddamn trip, for real. But nevertheless, I said what I had to say. I'm done with these manosphere crybabies always preaching on the internet, trying to fearmonger and use propaganda to stop the manosphere. And of course, the shit ain't working. And I'm out this bitch. Later.